Data Central is a visualization that faces Central Avenue on the outside of the Center for Advanced Research Computing. It's a center for a lot of supercomputers and research projects that run on these supercomputers.
Data Central has become sort of a landmark for CARSI as well as STEAM NM in a sense that people recognize the CARSI building by the LED strips without having visited here.
CARSI is situated on two very busy streets, University and Central, and so the design intent was to incorporate that movement into the LEDs that are going onto the glass facade of CARSI.
Data Central brings our group in connection with the community. We learn a ton, like soldering, bringing groups together like the American Institute of Architecture students at UNM.
Data Central helps showcase the scientific research being done at the Center for Advanced Research Computing, as well as help connect the community with the scientific research done at the UNM.
My background is in genetics, and I've always been really interested in sharing science, basically, and so Data Central is a really natural way to do that. It's a public-facing science display.
Data Central, to me, is a completed project that displays a beautiful array of LED lights and animation that I feel can be utilized as a tool to provide joy and happiness to any community.
CARSI is this amazing building that I never even noticed until I started working there, and they're doing a lot of really incredible research there.
I use processing to create the animation. Processing 3 is a programming language, and the animation was a simple spiral animation. It was just creating a circle, adding color to it, and having it spin.
Data Central is a really cool art piece that's interactive LED display, and it's located on Central, which is Route 66, which has a history of neon signs and like Americana culture, and some of that neon sign culture has kind of disappeared in recent years, so I feel like we're kind of bringing it back in our own modern version of it.
In the end, we came up with this design that each LED strip would start to incrementally rise up, but they'll get longer as they slope up more. And so the challenge was figuring out the measurements of the LED strips and the C channels. I thought about creating a design that would hold the LED strips, but essentially still open face to the context that's outside of it. And so this L clip allows that transformation to happen.
My role in Data Central was programmer. I wrote all of the software that's running on the computer in the back and the microcontrollers. I also built a prototype simulation with some of the team. It's a smaller one that runs on the east side of the building.
I came up with the genetics portion of the Data Central project because a lot of people get confused when they think about DNA. They know that DNA has genes, and that genes are what tell every cell in your body what to do. The real difference is that kind of like a light fixture or a light display where you have all these LEDs. The LEDs are always there. It's a matter of whether they're turned on or not, what color they are, how long they've been on. That makes the different patterning or maybe a different message, and that's how your cells become differentiated.
I've been helping a lot with the programming, connecting the data feeds to the visualization and figuring out like what we want to visualize on the piece.
My role in Data Central was designing the circuit boards that drive the lighting display, as well as designing the communication protocols and the layout of the system. The system is basically composed of a central driving computer as well as a board that sends an amplified and clean signal to the lighting display. I designed all of the circuit boards and the wiring for the system, including the Firefly board, which is what allows us to communicate with the lights over such a long distance.
My role of the project was to provide documentation on not only the inside of Data Central, but also provide animations for the lights that are run. The programming that I did provided information from an API called Weather Underground. It gave information on the temperature here in Albuquerque as well as the wind speed. With this information, I actually got values that were able to be sent over into the LED lights. Now you'll see colors that represent the temperature and the wind speed as well.
I did a lot of the 3D printing for Frank, and I've helped do some of the installation.
When I came in today, what the problems they were experiencing is some of these strips were going out. What they've been using so far as a stopgap method is an LED as a fuse. What we're going to try to switch those over is a poly switch fuse, which will reset itself after it trips.
Some of the issues that we had to deal with when we were working on the Data Central installation had to do with the signal integrity when we were driving the lights, as well as protection circuits to make sure that there were no accidents. All of our circuit boards are designed and manufactured in-house. This allows us to create solutions to problems that wouldn't necessarily be available simply by finding a product for it on the commercial market.
The best thing that I got from working with a team is that I was able to see a vision become a reality.
The main point of Data Central to me is to pique curiosity. It's not necessarily always about understanding the data that you're seeing, but wanting to understand it and wanting to find out more.
It's a really dynamic team. Everyone's doing really different things, but in the transfer of information and of data to the greater Albuquerque community, that is a way of bringing technological and creative ideas to kind of a synthesis.
At the Social Media Work Group, we have a very talented team of a lot of different people who have different backgrounds, and the synergy of all of those roles together has really contributed to helping design and bring Data Central to life.